Hey guys, here I'm going to do a video on a MarketScan. This should serve as the comprehensive video on how to conduct a market scan and really how we use filters to figure out exactly the state of the market, meaning how many properties are available that are similar to ours and what are they priced at. It should help us understand whether our current pricing is correct or whether we need to make a change. And it will also describe when we do need to make a change, how we implement price changes as well as minimum night stay changes in order to increase our chances of getting booked. So I'm going to start out by looking at price labs, because price labs is what we can use to figure out how much empty days we have over a 15-day, 30-day, and 60-day period. And if we start looking at similar properties, like these three, for example, are all 3 or 4 bedroom cabins in Tennessee. So we see that they have a pretty decent size opening over the next 15 days. We can see, if there's any specific weeks that are open for all of them, we can, when we set our date range, for example, May 12th to 15th, that one, /12th to 15th again here, in the same date range there. You see that all 3 of these are open for that same date range, and that's about 10 days away. So we need to make an action now and make sure that we're not overpriced, and just check to see where our properties are appearing in the search results. So let's try that. We're currently in New York, so let's go to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. We'll choose May 12th to 15th. And remember, we want to choose properties that are comparable to ours, so ones that are similar in size. And wow, as you can see here, 2 of our properties are popping up, number 1 and number 2, on the whole Airbnb list for that period. So that tells you that we're probably priced fairly. Our kissing cabin, which is 3 bedrooms, 4 bath, is actually significantly cheaper than our Judy top cabin. So we here, if we feel like we're underpriced at $99, we might bring this property's price up to meet this one, or a little bit, maybe a little bit less, but close by. And we think about it because we think how these properties performed historically, and therefore we kind of know which property should be priced a little bit higher than the other. So I think this Judy top, this one here, should be priced a little bit above this one, because it's been operating longer. But let's see what we can do here now. So I'm filtering on an entire place of 2 bedrooms or more, okay, in this whole region. And now we're showing 300 plus homes. That's the max that they're going to show you. They're not going to tell you the exact number, but they'll show you 300 plus. Okay, so now we need to narrow the filter down a bit more to really see what the comparables are. Remember, this is also taking into consideration anything that has more than 2 bedrooms, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can't cap it. We can't say only 2 bedrooms. It's 2 plus. So that means that we really should figure out a better way to understand exactly what the market looks like. One thing I might do here is, since it's only 10 days away, I want to get a sense for how many people are pricing their property at a low price. So I can get a sense for really, what's the inventory on the market, how many of these low price cabins have to get booked, and what's the probability that they're going to book that number of cabins in a short 10-day period. So let's see how this graph shows how the prices increase in the number of properties. Gets smaller as you get into a higher price range, and it looks like the majority of properties are priced in and around below 200. Okay, so let's drop it actually further. Let's say if we were happy with 150, how many properties do we have to compete with? Let's bring it to 150. Apply that. Wow, and you can see we're still over 300 homes that are unbooked for that period of time. And that goes to show you that there's a lot of supply on the market. Okay, so what we're going to do, and there's our other cat popping up number 4 on the list. So we feel good that at least, even though we're not booked, our properties are popping up pretty high on the list. And that's definitely a very positive thing. But we want to make sure that our properties are still properly valued. So we might do something further. We might drop the price further to call it, let's drop it down to 130. We're keeping an eye on this number up here. This is the number of properties in the market. 261. Okay, so now we have an exact idea as how many properties are priced below 130 this period of time and have at least 2 bedrooms. Okay. Now, we could, in this case, we can start being a little clever, and we can start saying, well, maybe, we allow 12 guests in this property, we allow 10 guests in this property, in our other property, it's going to pop up here. It might not. Because it was at 150. So that other property would not pop up here. We're now at 130. So what if we filtered on number of guests? Actually, before we do that, let's keep getting a better idea as to how the market is. So we keep dropping the price down and seeing how many properties are there. Like 20 low incomes at 110, 114 homes left. So it's getting smaller. But let's see how many properties at this low price are actually allowing 10 guests or more, or 8 guests or more. 26. So now we're getting down to a smaller, and we've actually zoomed out, zoomed back into our area of this Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Wares Valley whole area. And we're at 16 homes now. So there's only 16 homes. And if you have an 8-guest party, and you only have $110 a night, there's only 16 homes you can book. Okay? And so that's a somewhat positive thing. We know that we're not priced too low, probably, because, there's a fair amount of competition still. And there might not be that many big groups of 8 coming in so last minute. So maybe it's more likely that there's only 6 adults coming in this last minute. And then we're up to for some reason it's not showing the number of guests here. Let's try it again. Okay, for some reason it's not showing the number of properties as it usually does up here. But let's move on to the next thing, which is maybe we increase the number of bedrooms. So 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, and see how many there are. 16 only. Okay. So, our price is probably pretty competitive here. Our property looks good. Our competitive properties, we want to take a glance at those too, to get an idea. Because if we see this guy got a pretty nice property, he's charging $99. Alright, we know we're not priced too low. There's another nice property, nice house. We're not priced too low here. We're priced fairly, I think. And we're probably going to be booked at that price. Okay? So at this point, we kind of get an idea that we're probably priced fairly. We may also want to play around a little bit with this Let's pull our price up a little bit. And then let's add more filters. So let's say at least 3 beds and 2 baths. Okay. Now let's say gas. It's the bigger properties. Then we can safely say we're not going to increase our price past 150, given it's this late in the season. But at 150, we're going to see how many are here. You know, there's 61. If it doesn't show it up here in this part, you can also look at the bottom, and this will show you here exactly how many rentals there are. So there's 61 below, at 150 or below, that can host up to 8 guests, and that you know, have at least 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. Now if we drop to 6 guests, let's see how it goes from 61 up to 91. Okay, so now you have a good idea as to exactly how many properties are similar to ours in our price range. And there's about, depending on how many guests are showing up, it could be anywhere from 60 to 90 properties at the below the 150 range with at least 3 beds and 2 baths. You know, if you go down to 2 beds and 2 baths, basically that means imagine a 2-bedroom apartment or 2-bedroom cabin that allows for six guests, which is pretty common. Then you're probably going to have more than 91. You're going to have a whole bunch. So you run over 300. So there's a lot of 2-bedroom cabins that are sleeping 6 people that are in that range. There's a lot of competition there. So, you know, that just goes to show you that there's a fair amount of competition for those kind of 6 guest groups in this area, because 2-bedroom apartments, they can have the 2 bedrooms, and 1 bedroom can have more than 1 bed, and you can have a sleeper sofa in the living room, and that's how they're able to put 6 guests in the house. So that's why you're competing not only with your 3-bedroom apartments or your 4 bedrooms, you know, in our case 3 bedrooms here, and for for 3 bedrooms in Bear Mountain, this one, and 4 bedroom at Judy Top. You're also competing with the smaller properties, which can stuff 6 people in there. You got to keep that in mind when you're analyzing the market. Okay, great. So this is really helpful information. Now, another thing we can do, and what I like to do, is sometimes look at properties that are similar to ours, like this one here, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, Superhost, 43 properties, and get a sense for what their calendar looks like going into the future. Because I want to see how booked up are they in May, how booked up are they in June compared to myself, to know if maybe I should be more booked now and I'm being too aggressive with my pricing. Maybe I need to bring my prices down. So, see, this person is fully booked in June and fully booked in July, looks like, and August. So they're clearly providing really nice value. Let's see what they're pricing at. August, $260 a night, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. You know, this is a really nice property. You see, it's with that beautiful glow, beautiful property. So, you know, you can see why they've been able to command such a high price and be so booked up. It's quite a stunning view and quite a nice property. Okay, so there you go. That's giving you an idea that perhaps we should find a property which is a bit more fully comparable to ours. Let's try this one. So this property, you can see they're also booked all the way through June. Seems like it. In July, part of August. Okay. Let's look at In this we can also filter on superhosts, because that's going to help us filter in hosts that have a lot of experience and also have been posting for a while. They have more reviews, so they're less likely to be a new host who doesn't have their calendar filled up yet. So I like looking at superhosts wherever I can. A lot of reviews. Here we go. This is an example of one. Let's make sure it's of similar quality to ours. Okay. A little smaller, but somewhat comparable. You can see their calendar looks. Some openings. A little bit opens in June. Lots of some openings. I like to do this for like 5 to 10 properties. You know, more is better, of course. You get a better sense. You know, 10 is probably the right number to go through 10. Just take a look at their calendars and see. I'm gonna grab my charger quickly. Be right back. I'm back. So here, June is pretty much full. So we can feel pretty confident that we should be packed through June and July at this point. Because most people's cabins are booked up through June and July. So that kind of gives us an idea that, hey, we should be booked up, and if we're not, we gotta reduce our prices. These markets are very efficient, so once your price is in the right price range, it will start getting booked. There's enough guests going through this area where they know what the right value is for the properties, and you know, you'll get the right price for your property. Cool. So we're going to go out and feel comfortable now that we've scanned this market. Now we're going to make our adjustments. We're going to go into our properties here. You know, so for these days, you know, I think we felt pretty comfortable in the right range here. We might also do a weekend scan, Tennessee. Let's just see if we're in the right range. Kissing definitely was priced $99, pretty low. Look good there. Very low price. We're just trying to get some bookings in here. Judy Top might have been a little high at 150. That's where it was priced, so we probably should bring that down. You see here it says 120. So I'm not exactly sure why it was advertising it for 153 that period. Yes, this is an error. This is the advertising 153. Yet our Price Labs has it at 120, and their GMS so their GMS has it at 150. We're getting overridden. Their GMS is overriding Price Labs here, and that's a problem. So you would notice that our Price Labs price 120 is getting overridden by their GMS, and that's a big problem. You want to do that. Yet Kissing Way is not doing that. That's strange. We know Kissing that period is priced in around 99, right? 10, whatever, pretty close. Ooh. All these comments. It's strange that that's happening. It's an error. So at this point, when there's an error like that, you're seeing that Price Labs should be the overriding, because we're paying for Price Labs above and beyond their GMS. So if we're paying for Price Labs to keep our prices correct, and they're not, then there's a problem. So that's why we need to go and call Price Labs or email them and understand why this is happening. Now we have proof that this is happening, so we can ask them why this is occurring. So then at that point, when you understand the market is, you then make your adjustments. We see, prices should probably be in the low 100s per night for that period of time, and we can probably extend that then into this earlier week here, and these weeks too, because we're seeing that that's kind of the market for those properties. Okay, so we'll make some adjustments here. That's 120. We got a weekend there, so that's probably okay. We might also want to look at the weekend here. Just kind of see. Let's just take that. Look at Judy Todd. And the weekend's open for Kissing and Judy and his properties. Which weekend is open? And do we have to adjust? This one has no weekends open. I think that we just looked at, actually. Bear Mountain. Weekend on the 16th, the 18th is open. Let's look at there. Same weekend is open. Okay, so now we do another market scan for that weekend. Maybe the 16th to 19th. Let's see. 66 homes. Can increase the price to 200. That's kind of what we thought we should get. So let's see what other prices are out there. We're probably priced too low, honestly, here. So the other properties are like 160, 150, 140, 149. There's only 100 left. And it's 2 weeks away. So I mean, it's not a no-brainer. Like to make another $50, I'm not sure if it's worth it to increase the price, because then you're going to be increasing yourself above a whole bunch of people. You might want to be a little bit below everyone else, but you're undercutting the majority of other properties. That's kind of the art of it, is when you're looking at the number of properties, you want to see, for example, how many properties are between 150 and 170. Oops. I don't think we should do that. Do a range there? You can do a range. So it shows you there's 15 places between 150 and 170. Let's see how many there are between 130 and 150. 60. So there's a bunch of them, between 130 and 150. Let's see how many between 90 and 130. Not a whole lot. And they don't look that great. You see, they look kind of like hotels, and look like real cabins. So you can tell we definitely should be above 130. We probably should be between 130. Not all that. I gotta be sure that's correct. It's in there correctly. It was probably in the 130 to 160 range. There's 40 homes left, 2 weeks left. There's a weekend. Good chance a lot of people are going to the cabins the weekend. So I think if we're at, 150, 160, we're pretty confident we're getting booked. So I'm actually going to increase this one to around, 150, 160. Look at some of the other competitors price around 160. You can see that, we're definitely in a good value here, the size. We can do another type of market scan too. I think we're very much at the top end of it from what I've seen here. properties. So you can filter. So we filter on superhosts, and take that off actually. That's for 52. Be careful sometimes with your filters. You want to get an accurate vision of all the properties. Had it filtered in superhosts, we weren't getting as many properties. So now you see there's a whole bunch of properties between 130 and 160. They're still showing up very high on the list, but there's a bunch of other competitors. So, you know, we know we're priced correctly here. We're not priced too high. We're not priced too low. We're probably priced about right. Okay. Instead of curiosity, let's say property price premium 9. The reason I don't put 100 there at 99 because a lot of people price 99. So if you put 100, you're going to miss out on all those $99 pricing people. So, you know, there's a handful, 62 at that low end, but they're, like I said, they're not very good looking prices. This one is pretty good. You know, but you know, we're probably a little bit better in terms of what we're offering. And for this one, we booked at 125. You know, with a nice view and decent looking cabin. But I think we're going to keep our property where it's at price-wise. Okay, so there you go. That's kind of how you do a market scan and get a sense for, you know, if your property is properly priced, if you're above or below the price. I'll leave it at that. You know, you can play around more if you want to really get deeper. You can change, you know, dates to not the 16th to 19th, but 17th to 19th, or, you know, that way you capture people who have Thursday blocked, but who can do the weekend. You know, so you can play around with that. You know, the results might change a little bit. And that there's a whole lot. So you can kind of get a sense there if you're correct or not. And that's a market scan. You know, when you come out of that, you should really have a good sense of the market, where we're positioned, whether we change our price or not. And a lot of that comes down to, you know, the supply in the market. When you start seeing like a couple hundred homes and it's only a week or two away, you know, you gotta be trying to price below, a little bit below everyone else for that booking. So I'll stop this video here, and I'll catch you in this video. Thanks, guys.